Present.
Here.
Here. All right, let's begin by reviewing our council agenda for Tuesday, February 13th. Meeting is scheduled for 9:30 closed session, 1:30 regular session with a study session as part of the afternoon session and canceled evening session. Consent starts on page 4, continues on pages 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Section 3, we have the mid-year budget review report and the focus areas status report. A long-term power purchase agreement in section 6 that will be heard immediately after consent. And then an item, exception to the multifamily housing revenue bond policy, heard after 6.1. And that is all. So we will, is there any public comment here in person?
We do have an in-person speaker. Jordan, please go ahead and make your way to the podium.
Remote commenting policy, but given all the study sessions you need to do, I'm gonna not ask for that right now, but just put it on your mind. What I did want to ask, and I'm hoping this is in scope, I have a suggestion, not about the actual items on the agenda, but about the text of the agenda. Given the change for the remote commenting procedure, I'm wondering if it's possible to maybe make it a little more prominent that public comment is no longer taken via Zoom. You know, if you read the document, it technically, you know, the Zoom link is under a section that says viewing only, but I think it's easy to miss that. And so I think maybe for the next few weeks or so, it might be good to have a little bit more prominent of a message that says that Zoom is viewing only and there's no remote public comment. Thanks for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. And we have an ad sheet as well. Any hands?
Move
Or-
approval of the agenda for the 13th and the ad sheet.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right, that motion.
Chair, would it be appropriate to make a comment on,
Sure, you can comment on whatever you'd like.
yeah, just what what Jordan mentioned. I think it is important for people to be really made aware that we're no longer accepting call-in commentary, and so if we can make that more prominent somehow, that would be, I think that would really be helpful. And additionally, some concerns have been around not being able to access the meeting too, and that isn't the case, it's just you can't call in. So anything we can do to highlight that for the community.
Yeah, I have let them know on my website, on the agenda, it does not cloud bold, but it is there, but Jordan's right, it's there if you know what you're looking for, but it's not there if you don't know what you're looking for. So yeah, we can find a way to make that more prominent.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very much, I
was gonna say,
appreciate
the
that.
front page says location council chambers. It used to have the Zoom link right there under it, but
Right.
But maybe a comment that just says, I don't know, some kind
No
of wording
hybrid,
that says.
something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, but the motion's already, we voted on it. It passed 3-0 with 2 members absent. And now our next item is our consent agenda. We have 3 items on consent today. And do we have any public comment on consent?
Jordan, please go ahead and make your way to the podium.
District 3, I just wanted to call attention to a slight typo in the public record on the cover page. The third item from the public is actually a letter from the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee. I'm not speaking on behalf of them. I'm not a member of that committee, but I was at that meeting. I know that they voted on a motion to send a letter to the T&E committee expressing some of their priorities. And so that letter was sent by one of the BPAC members on behalf of the BPAC. And so I think it should be up in the first section in letters from committee. And additionally, if it could be forwarded on to the T&E committee members, which I think was what was intended, that would also be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we're back to committee.
Back to committee.
Okay, is there a motion to approve consent?
Move approval.
Second,
All right, let's vote on consent. All right, that motion carries 3-0, and that brings us to open forum.
Jordan?
Hi again, Jordan Moldow. I wanted to speak a bit about the public comment via remote option, which I assume is within the purview of the Open Governance Committee. I was disappointed to hear that the remote comment option was removed. I think it's a valuable tool for our democratic process to make it more accessible for people in the community to give verbal comments. You know, I know the email option is still there, and that's good that that's still there, but, you know, email is limiting. Not everyone wants to write an email or can write an email, and the emails aren't able to be read aloud during the meeting, so there's definitely an advantage to giving people an option for, you know, talking in a remote fashion. I understand the concerns about the hate speech, and it's definitely awful to hear it. I hate hearing it. You know, I did think that the city clerk and the staff were doing a good job of cutting off the comments before they got too terrible to hear. But I'm definitely open-minded about coming up with some alternative solutions. The memo from the clerk said that there was going to be an update, I think, in July. I would encourage, you know, looking into that, you know, starting as soon as possible rather than waiting until July to look into it again. I did send an email suggesting that perhaps a task force could be put together, containing, some people who know their way around technology, and the IT team and the city clerk's staff, maybe nonprofits that are experienced in open governance issues, and nonprofits that are experienced in hate speech issues, and no tech executives, please. So that is my suggestion, is to consider that. Thanks.
Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. And we are adjourned at 2:07 p.m.